Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Coin Drop Podcast, episode number 96. Joining me again is Mike. Hot off the heels of that announcement, I hope you all bear with us as we transition. It's not going to be fun, I guess is the best way to kind of put that. But it was something that was necessary, and we're going to try and move on and continue to do a great show and bring you guys good content. So for those of you who, I guess probably wouldn't be listening to this because you no longer support us, thank you for your support in the past. If you choose to not support us anymore, and those of you who do continue to support CoinDrop and what we're trying to do, I appreciate it. So we're happy to have you here. That being said, the giveaway has ended. We have found a winner. I messaged them earlier tonight while we're recording this episode, so it would have been, a couple days ago for you guys listening now. Messaged them earlier in the night, told them they had till the 25th to message me back with their selected game. If they do not, we will spin the wheel again and remove their name, and we'll continue to spin until we get a response from somebody. But a winner has been selected. You know who you are, and you've been messaged. Or you don't know who you are because you don't check your Discord messages. And if that's the case, that's a big fucking bummer, buddy.
You know who you are.
I mean, I sent him 2 messages, so I don't know what else you want from me. Mike, how's your night been? How's your week been, buddy?
Yep.
You're really selling this this co-host thing that we're you're doing great.
Fucking doing great. Well, I started working at the MDS situation, delivering chemotherapy drugs. Super fun. Did my ride along for 3 days. Then on the third day, I got a flat tire.
Yep.
Which is great.
Yep.
It's fun. It's great. Already broke. We're working on not being broke.
Yep.
Flat tire.
Yep.
So fortunately my pops came through on that, and I managed to get a tire. And also my lead driver / manager person was more than willing to let me do just more ride-alongs for like the rest of the week. So today I did my first ever lonesome trip.
Lonesome? You mean solo?
Solo, yeah. That
Jesus Christ.
A lone trip. Yeah, my first solo trip, and it ended up being like a 4-hour, 5-hour round trip. So yeah, it was easy work for the most part,
Lots of driving,
just
but other than that,
a lot of stress in between.
Yep. Yep. You'll get there, buddy. Don't trip too much. Been playing Assassin's Creed 2, working through that. The game still feels pretty good. Like, it's fun to play. It's fun to find new ways to kill people in that game. I've taken to like straight up just tackling people and then just assassinating them, because apparently when you take somebody down, you can just immediately assassinate them, and it's just very funny. The other thing I do is just throw people off of roofs, which is always a good time.
Like, you can do that? Hold on a second.
Yeah.
I know about the like charge and like you jump on them like Spider-Man and wrap yourself around them and just like put your hidden blade like straight through their eye socket.
Yeah.
But like you can throw people off roofs. I gotta start playing the game again.
Yeah. There's also one I found out you could do that I had no idea you could do. If you have a sword out and you grapple somebody, you can just hit X and slit their throat and kill them immediately. Yeah. Yeah, I had no idea you could do that one until I started playing again. It's like, oh shit, this is a thing I could do? Sweet. I mean, it doesn't work on every enemy, right? Because like it's generally like the lower level enemies or whatever, but because the other ones will like break your grapple or you won't be able to grapple or whatever. But the other thing that I've been doing that's been a ton of fun is just running around like Daredevil and just punching the shit out of everybody and just beating people to death with my bare fists. I literally just take their weapon, drop it on the ground, and just throw hands, and it's so fun. It's stupid.
No sword for you.
We got into it the other night. I was talking talk with Andrew. I was like, man, now I've got like this whole headcanon that Ezio's just this psycho psychotic killer that's like Frank Castle mixed with Daredevil, and like the investigators who come to try and figure out what happened just find like a pile of weapons over here and a bunch of dead bodies strewn everywhere. Like, why the fuck are there weapons over here? And they're just everywhere.
Yeah, and there's like no blood on any of the weapons.
Right?
They're all on your knuckles.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Crazy. I think that was around the time that I went somewhere. I went to Walmart, and you said something about them screaming pepperoni at you. And I came back in, and I was like, "Fucking what?" And you were like, "I don't know, man. They're Italian. Don't you guys all just scream pepperoni when you're angry?"
It was pastrami. It was screaming about pastrami.
Yes, we scream about pastrami when we're angry. Pastrami.
Oh, so needless to say, I mean, I'm having a good time playing Assassin's Creed 2 again. It's enjoyable, and I'm looking forward to playing the rest of them. Well, that's enough preamble. I think that's. Let's get through the pastrami sandwich of it all. The giveaway is over. Thank you again for everybody's support. Thank you for your continued support on Patreon. Thanks for all the new people who are joining us. I hope you enjoy the show. Like, subscribe, do all the fun things. If you give us a review on Spotify, that really helps too, I guess, because algorithms and shit like that. So give us a 5-star if you enjoy the content. If you don't enjoy the content, let us know why. Let us know how we can be better. Let us know what we can do to make the show more enjoyable for you guys. We're always open to feedback. So, we're hoping to do more giveaways going forward. We saw pretty good success out of this one. It's going to be dependent on how many people like you decide to support us over on patreon.com/CoinDropPod. The more support we get there, the more we can do giveaways, the more we can give you guys a chance to win games. And I'm all for that. So, I guess with that, let's jump right into it. First on the docket, Cronos New Dawn, the new game from Bloober Group, has shown us Bloober Team. Sorry, I don't know why I always say group. I don't know why I do that. They've shown us some gameplay footage, and boy, does it look juicy. Mike, what were your thoughts on the footage?
I already, at the footage specifically, I will say I'm super into it. It definitely feels like it has a dark space body horror kind of like Zygot vibe to it, which I'm super about.
You mean Dead Space, or like just dark space in a thematic kind of way?
Dead Space, sorry.
Got
Dead Space specifically. I already also really like Bloober Team. They did some of their more popular games were like The Medium. They did the Silent Hill 2 remake. I don't know if you're aware of that. They also did the Blair Witch game, and they also did another game that was super underrated, and I feel like everybody should play it at least once, called Observer. They did re-release the...
Do I own that one? That's a cyberpunk one, wasn't it?
Yeah, you play as like a detective, and you're basically trying to figure out who killed some dude while you're also looking for your son, and it turns out that it's like this like weird paranormal... It's like super fucking weird and
I think Tim and I actually talked about it very early on into the podcast because it released in 2020. So I feel like we talked about it. Maybe we didn't, but I don't know. Yeah.
So they did an initial release in 2017, and then when ray tracing and DLSS became super popular, they did a Redux version which added ray tracing, upscaling tech, all of the stuff that NVIDIA had present at the time.
Gotcha.
Excuse me, it's
just dying.
Burping after all those enchiladas, man. I'm full of them.
Yeah.
There was one other game they did besides those and Layers of Fear. It was back when they were still super, super small.
Let's see. There's a Fear. Brawl. Brawl is one. Amen. Amen is another. That's all I see, personally. I don't know. On Steam, anyways, that's all I see. But I'm a big fan of what they're doing with Cronos. The atmosphere in general, like the fog at certain points, gives me very like the Upside Down vibes from Stranger Things. It has like a Stranger Things upside down kind of vibe, which is really cool. Big fan of the like retro futuristic tech that they're doing too. Like it feels like 80s future sci-fi stuff, and very cool choice. We did get a glimpse at some gameplay mechanics. We got confirmation that there's going to be upgradable weapons throughout the trailer. The footage they show, he uses a pistol that upgrades to like explosive shot, and then has some kind of way to address like puzzles, it seems like. We saw that he at least gets one extra gun, he or she, right? Like we don't know who the traveler is. The traveler, I guess I'll just call him that, gets a shotgun at the very least. So we know there's at least one other weapon, but chances are you're going to get multiple weapons, right?
Yeah.
And it mentions that you definitely need to burn the dead before they merge and become stronger, and they kind of show you what that looks like. So that's kind of cool. That feels like a really cool mechanic that could be absolutely horrible if you're like, fuck, I don't have any way to burn this body. Ah, shit.
Yeah, that's where I was getting the Zygote thing from, because the Zygote is a bunch of corpses molded into one. Yeah, and it's like the pinnacle of body horror.
Yeah,
it's so fun.
Yeah, that's fun. a lot like Animal Use Protocol. I think Tim and I talked about that on the Patreon. I don't know if you watched the trailer for that, but it's very much an amalgamation of body parts that's hunting you in that game, and that's absolutely terrifying. But I mean, it's Bloober Team. They make great games. I'm excited for it. Can't wait to see more. Did they give us a release date on that one? I don't remember.
I don't think that they announced the release date yet. I think they just gave us the trailer.
And a window of 2025. So we got a window. I
would guess Q4.
Probably. Maybe Q3. Yeah, Q3, yeah. Q4.
Actually, they might actually do Q4 because Grand Theft Auto 6 is supposed to release Q3.
Yeah.
Sometime in autumn.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting either way. This game looks... Yeah, it looks like Dead Space, but not in space. It's Dead Planet, right? Like,
yeah. It's also, it looks like it has like some like Silent Hill vibes in there too.
Yeah,
I think I actually saw one of the top comments was like Dead Space and Silent Hill had a baby with this one, and I was like, yeah, that
tracks. See that. Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
They do show potentially another traveler at the end of the trailer, which very well could just be another version of you, right? Like, there's a lot of different avenues you can go with time travel, and seeing as how this whole game is save the future by harvesting the past, or whatever their little slogan was here. Yeah. It makes me wonder, kind of like, are they going to go with like a multiverse kind of thing where, you just run into different versions of you that kind of help you along the way? Are they actually different travelers with just different missions? It raises some interesting questions.
Yeah, I'm also curious to see if it's linear with like open areas, like how God of War is structured, or if it'll just be like just through and through, like the game that I can't think of right now that takes place on a planet. You're supposed to be just delivering some shit, and then it's made by the Dead Space developers, the original Dead Space developers. I can't think of right now. And then they end up keeping you in the prison, and then you wake up, and the prison is taken over by weird alien monster things.
I don't know. So the original developers were actually EA. Redwood Shores did the original Dead Space. I don't know what game you're talking about. Delivering stuff on a planet, and then is it another survival horror game? Because it sounds kind of cool.
It is. It's a recent game, but it's you're not actually delivering stuff on a planet. The cinematic the game starts with a cinematic where you're like on a ship. You're supposed to be delivering something to a planet, and then someone, I guess, like this terrorist group is holed up in your back inventory area.
Huh.
And you crash land, and the fucking people that are in charge of retrieving said things decided that you're a prisoner now. The Callisto Protocol. That's what it is.
Oh, that's the new. Okay, okay, all right. Yeah, now I'm tracking. I was looking for an old game. I was really confused because
I'm pretty sure I said it. They made it. It was like recent game, but it was made by the original Dead Space developers.
Got it.
Yep.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, it's got some cool vibes. Cronos looks really cool. If you're into third-person atmospheric horror survival shooter games, this is going to be right up your alley, hands down. Like it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to get my hands on it. It looks the perfect blend of absolute spine-snapping fear and gory, bloody first or third-person shooter greatness. So like it's really walking that line in a perfect way.
And if that is up your alley and you have not played the Callisto Protocol yet, I definitely recommend playing that because I've only played, I think, 3 hours of it, and it's fucking terrifying.
Nice.
Like, it's actually adrenaline-inducing.
I heard it had a pretty hard launch on PC. It had some issues, but I'm glad to hear that it's good. So
yeah.
All right. Well, moving on. Elder Scrolls has announced their next game. And it's not Elder Scrolls 6. It's their next game. It's their new next game.
Yeah.
It's their next game.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't really announce it. It kind of got leaked, quote unquote, air quotes for audio listeners.
Yeah.
Jeff Grubb, the infamous Insider Man, said on his YouTube podcast that I fucking pulled away from. Mm-hmm. Where did it go?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
Basically,
content.
He said on his live YouTube podcast that the week prior he was kind of playing with the idea of Elder Scrolls Oblivion being remade, like confirming all the leaks, and then saying that the release is soon, like this month. Then last week, or I should say this past week, as of this recording day being the 19th. Mm-hmm. So a couple days ago, he said that the Oblivion remake will actually be released the week of the 21st. And he said it in a sense of he's guessing, but it's a guess based on, he said he has 2 separate confirmations. But he didn't give an exact date. So we'll see. I'm excited for it. The whole game, the art specifically, the game art specifically says The Elder Scrolls Oblivion remastered, but it's a full-blown fucking remake.
Yeah, it once again, Bethesda doesn't know what the fuck they're doing with their own IPs. All the information that has come out about it definitely classified as a remake, not a remaster. Yeah. This is not the game with new textures, updated frame rate, or any of that, or even added ray tracing. This is from the ground up rebuilt. Yeah,
they added new mechanics. So like apparently they're adding Souls-like, quote unquote,
combat,
fighting combat.
Yeah, I don't fucking like that.
We'll see how it goes. I guess
I don't like that.
I think when I think, but like Skyrim or like Bethesda in general, and like how third person looks on any of their games,
it looks like ass.
Your guy is just very stiff, and then just happens to be able to walk sideways. But he just looks stiff as shit doing it.
He moves like a tank.
He moves like a chicken.
He does move like a chicken.
If you think about how like his head always stays forward, but his body constantly turns, so he moves like a chicken. He's walking around. Speaking
of chickens, if you want a very cheap camera isolation rig, just buy a chicken and strap a camera to the top of its head.
Wait.
Yeah, no, it works. Like it legit because it legit works because chickens don't move their they isolate their fucking head. So like if you want an isolating camera shot, just go grab a chicken and strap a GoPro to its head and shoot your shot. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than thousands of dollars for a rig, man. Chickens cost like $2. You can get one of those at the grocery store. Well, not really, but like
we would know because we have a chicken coop.
Yeah, I can get you a chicken for $2. Just give me like 6 weeks. It works. I'm just saying it fucking works. So.
Fucking cheeks hurt. Ow. Laughing too much. Yes, but I imagine when they say Dark Souls like combat, and then I think of like that weird stiff like not moving your neck while running back and forth and side to side.
Yeah.
How is that going to work? Because even like the roll mechanics in Skyrim are like cringe-inducing if you're in third person.
I mean, I'm hoping they're actually building this on UE5, first of all, which I know they're probably not. They're probably using the creation engine, which is going to be buggy and garbage and shit. And then, you know, the modders who actually make Bethesda games playable are going to go in and fix a lot of it, because Bethesda's going to release a broken product once again. I'm not saying it's not going to be good. It's probably going to be really good, but it's not going to be as good as it should be, because it's Bethesda. And like,
Yeah.
they make a good starting point. I feel like they make an alpha and then go, yep, publish it. Let the community build it the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Like
at this point, they should just stop making games. Say like, this is the idea for the game, and then just let the
community. Yeah, let the community build it. No joke.
It's the creation engine. Just build something.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, man. Souls-like combat. I don't know if it's more like thought out, methodical combat, fine. But whenever anybody says Souls-like, the first thing that comes up to my head is the whole like, oh, you die, you lose all your XP shit and all of your gear, and you got to go get it, right? Like that's where my brain goes. I guess not all your gear. That wasn't really a Souls thing. You just lost all your experience. And like overly hard boss battles, but that doesn't fit what Oblivion was. There wasn't boss battles in a sense. Like that's not, it doesn't seem like it makes any sense in that format, and it makes me wonder if that's just somebody throwing shit at the wall saying this is what we're gonna get. it doesn't track with what Elder Scrolls is at all. So
on top of that, Sky Oblivion, the modders that are remaking Oblivion and Skyrim, have come forward and said that there's no reason why both games, both experiences can exist together.
Yeah.
Going as far as to joke and say the real remake is the friends we made along the way.
As long as Patrick Stewart's involved, I'm good with it. The best part of Oblivion is the opening where Sir Patrick Stewart's in it, and it's like, all right, well, the game kind of goes downhill from here.
Yeah. Yep.
And was it the Grey Fox? Is that who it was? The leader of the Thieves Guild in Oblivion? It's Grey Fox?
I think so.
I feel like it was Grey Fox. Like he was like a Batman version of like Oblivion. Grey Fox? Grey Cow? Was it the Grey Cow? Grey Fox? Yeah, it was the Grey Fox from Oblivion. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was like a Thieves Guild version of Batman. And it's just like his voice did not match. God, there's so much about Oblivion I didn't like. I love that people love that game, but like coming from Morrowind and playing Oblivion, I'm like, this is the shit you do? You get no wonder Sir Patrick Stewart only did the voice acting for the Emperor and was like out. He probably looked at this game and was like, this is absolute shit. I don't know, man. Oblivion was not my favorite. People have a lot of love in it, but
there's a disturbance in the force for all of the diehard fans of Oblivion, which is the majority of basically all of the Elder Scrolls audience.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm old.
They all just together. They were all just like,
yep. Look, man, all I'm saying is if I can play your game and it's a known bug that I can just make paintbrushes float in the air on an Xbox, it's not a good game, man. I literally broke the game by just building platforms I was playing Roblox before Roblox was a thing with that game. I was building my way in fucking Zelda Tears of the Kingdom in Oblivion and just building my way over obstacles in that game by just like, you'd hit the menu and the X button at the same time. It was literally that simple. And it would just like, wherever you were looking, whatever item you had selected, stuck there in space and time. And it's like,
listen,
really?
Man, if I can't kill a dragon by spawning 10,000 wheels of cheese, then it's not an Elder Scrolls game.
I mean, all right, fair enough. Fair enough. You got me. Like, it's just that kind of jank that like Morrowind didn't. I mean, okay, it might have, and I might have been too young to acknowledge or realize it, but to my knowledge, the jank was not as front and center in Morrowind as it is in Oblivion and Skyrim and Starfield and everything that they've released ever since.
But Skyrim's jank is like just, it's fucking funny.
Yeah,
like,
dude, a bee broke the game.
Yeah.
constantly.
Yeah, or like the original. What was it? When you fight the trolls, sometimes they'll just start fucking floating off.
Yeah, one of my favorite videos that I've ever seen of Skyrim is a guy like fighting a saber-toothed tiger and he kills it, and it just like fucking ragdolls across the ground away from him, and he's reacting to it live, and he's like, "What? Okay,
Yeah.
all right, you leaving?" And it's just ragdolling off, and then just starts drifting up into the sky, and he just kind of watches it and goes, "Team Rocket's blasting off again." It's fucking. All he did was kill it. All he did was kill it, and it just.
All I'm saying is, in the Oblivion remake, I want them to retain the fucking what is it, the vision cone that's in Skyrim.
Yeah.
So if you literally just put a bucket over a storekeeper's head, you can steal all of their shit and then just take the bucket off, and they won't notice a thing.
It's fucking awful. It's so stupid. That works in Starfield too, from what I'm told. Like that still fucking works in Starfield.
It really does.
It's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid. Oh man, I love it.
It's like a fucking ostrich. You put a bag over its head and it thinks it's dark out, goes to sleep.
Oh shit, dude. Yeah, they're great games, but they have some jank.
Yeah.
As long as somebody adds in the mod, my favorite mod from Skyrim is just making that the most cursed game ever. It's a tie between making all of the dragons look like Thomas the Train Engine. That's a great mod. It's a tie between that one and turning the mud crabs into fancy mud crabs with top hats and monocles, and they just talk from the quote from Whitest Kids You Know, where they just run around and yell, "Now you fucked up! Now you fucked up! You have fucked up now! Now you..." It's a very fun mod. It is hands down one of my favorite
both of these mods at once.
Playing that version of Skyrim is stupid, and it's so fun. So as long as they continue, as long as the modding community continues to make fantastic, stupid mods, I'll continue to play them, 100%.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, back to the developer, the lead developer of Sky Oblivion. Apparently he's happy that the remake is happening.
I mean, I'm sure he is, right? Yeah. Like, that project's ambitious as hell. I can't imagine taking on that project, so...
Yeah, he's saying for the community it's a win-win. You get twice the amount of Oblivion this year. So.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But with the Sky Oblivion project, in theory, you should be able to replay the entirety of Oblivion, because it's in the Skyrim engine, quote-unquote, in the Skyrim game. With those mods enabled, so you can play Oblivion with Thomas the Train just flying overhead. We need a theme song just playing, and the closer the dragon gets, that's all you hear. No dragon noise, just that theme song. It's so bass boosted that it just cripples your eardrums.
But no, we gotta cross the lines here. We gotta really fuck shit up. You've got two options for theme songs for the Thomas the Train Engine dragon. You've got either the opening of SpongeBob, where it just repeats, "Are you ready, kids?" Or,
oh my god,
or you go even older and you go, "Blue Skidoo, we can too."
No,
just Blue Clues hits and have a dragon drop down on top of your fucking head. Just why not, right?
3 Blue's Clues. What is the male theme song? You get
Here's
mail?
a mail that never fails. And it lands on top of you and roars.
Oh shit! Yeah. By the way, did you know? Speaking of SpongeBob, the fucking. Did you know that?
He can't even get it out. He can't even get it out.
That's the fucking theme song of the fucking We Have Mail. My face hurts. Please stop.
Never.
The fucking oh my god, the lead vocalist of Slipknot can do a perfect impersonation of the SpongeBob theme song.
Awesome.
So if we're doing that one, we need to have him fucking record it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, there's some great comedy mods out there for Bethesda games. Yeah, I will definitely play the shit out of the Oblivion remake or remaster, as they're calling it, which is insane. As long as the combat doesn't go so Dark Souls that it's just frustrating.
It's also probably one of those things where, like, probably within like 2 weeks, someone's gonna un-Dark Souls the combat and just make it the original fucking combat system.
Yeah.
But whoever does that, please also include the walking side to side jank from all the other games.
We were watching like somebody talking about it, and he said, yeah, it's going to include updates like enemies reacting to being hit. And I just kind of sat there like, okay, that's a pretty fucking low bar, man. That's
even in Skyrim, they're like, oh, you'll never get me again. Oh, must have been the wind.
Or just just put in like a bunch of voice lines from Viva La Dirt League. So like you just have everybody in the village just going for the peace of the kingdom, and then just like you have fucking Fisher guy walk by, be like, last day for fishing. Just, oh. Adventure. Yeah, Viva La Dirt League. Just mod the whole game so every line of dialogue is that. Yep. Yeah. Oh shit, dude. There was speaking of mods, a little off topic here, but you know we're already pretty sidetracked because we're loopy as fuck. Yeah. There's a mod for Knights of the Old Republic, the original, and in the world Taurus, the first main world, there's like a town crier in the game who just shouts random voice lines that they put in. Yeah. There is a mod to replace those voice lines with lines from Uncle Ruckus from Boondocks. Yes, and it is that good, dude. I literally just sat there with the game on and listened to Uncle Ruckus yell at me in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Fully uncut, just inwards everywhere. It was the fun. Yeah. I got that reverse vitiligo. Just Uncle Ruckus just being so good, dude. It's so good. It's a must play mod, 100%.
Here's hoping when they finally release that fucking remaster that they can still implement that, because that'd be fucking great.
Oh, I will find a way. I will straight up find a way to make that happen. Yeah.
Just bounty it. Just go to the forum and be like, I will pay someone $200 to port this mod forward into the new game.
Yeah, 100%. That shit is so fucking funny. I love mods like that. And that's one thing like Bethesda games are great for, right? Is their fucking mods, and the mod community is fantastic for those games. So even if Oblivion remake comes out and it's just complete trash, the community is going to fix it 100%. So yeah. That was that mad tangent, I guess. So maybe we get it soon. Yeah, maybe we get it soon.
Next week, hopefully.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's supposed to be shadow dropped, which it's not really shadow dropped if everybody is saying that it's being shadow dropped. Yeah. Maybe that's the whole point of the marketing, is that everybody loves Oblivion. So like we're just gonna quote unquote shadow drop it, but then everybody is gonna be like, it's being shadow dropped. So it's not really being shadow dropped at that point. They just don't have to do the announcement themselves, because everyone's fucking doing it for them. Much like they don't have to develop the game themselves. Everyone's fucking doing it for them.
Damn. Fucking got him.
Anyway, moving on.
Oh god, it's a weird decision not to market it though. Like, I mean, imagine once they actually announce it, they'll market it. But like, if everybody already knows this is happening and it's been leaked multiple times, and I mean, at this point, it's almost like the Assassin's Creed 4 remake, right? Like 99% of the community knows this is happening, where you're doing something with Assassin's Creed 4. And so why not just fucking announce it? Like, you don't even have to put footage out. Put a fucking... When they announced Elder Scrolls 6, they gave us a flyover in CG over a landmass and a city. And that's still the only thing we have 7 years later.
Just make it like a fucking tweet.
Yeah.
Black Flag 4 remaster.
Done.
That's it.
Yep. With a picture of like just a black flag. Not even like a Jolly Roger on it, just a black flag.
Just a black flag.
Yeah. Yep. and just like
some
slap.
fucking GIF off of Google of
Yeah.
like a black flag waving in the distance.
Fuck, you want to be real goddamn lazy? Get a black piece of paper and just slap an Assassin's Creed logo on it and just throw it on the internet, and everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, black flag confirmed." Like, yeah, it's that easy. How low budget do you want to go with this, Ubisoft? Hit me up. I'm cheap.
No,
I can do your announcement for $2.
Just get a piece of like cardboard, like just something that they find in like a fucking corner in a gutter somewhere, and a black crown, and just draw their best toddler representation of what a black flag would look like. And then just post that on Twitter.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
No wording.
Doesn't need
nothing
it.
else.
Doesn't need it.
Nope.
People are gonna look at that and be confused as fuck. Why the hell did this guy autistically draw on a cardboard box with a black crown and then post it on Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed Twitter? What the fuck is this supposed to?
One guy's gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
The rest of the world is gonna be like, "No, no way, man. That
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense."
Nope. Oh shit.
Holy shit.
We have fun here. Speaking of stuff that doesn't make any sense, EA, after it was leaked, decided to do the thing that did make sense, which is announce the game that was leaked.
What?
Yeah. Don't worry about it. No, that happened. It's fine.
Heresy.
We're moving
Treason.
forward. Yep. Star Wars Zero Company has been officially announced with a trailer that came out earlier today. This is the new game from technically Lucasfilm's games and technically Respawn, but also actually from a company, a new developer called Bit Reactor. I had to make sure it wasn't Bit Raider. Bit Reactor. It's a new indie studio comprised of veterans of games like XCOM, Civilization, Gears of War, and Elder Scrolls Online have come together to make this new studio. And so, I mean, you've already got people with experience in this genre because guess what? It's a tactics game like XCOM. So not a whole lot is known about the game right now. It was leaked by a screenshot, I think a few days ago, earlier this week or maybe late last week. I'm not entirely sure when. And EA said, fuck it, drop it. And they released the trailer. They might have been planning to already anyways, because there was a Star Wars celebration that happened today, which I don't know why, when May the 4th is around the corner. And that is Star Wars Day. I don't get it, but whatever. They decided to. And it looks really good.
We'll do it live.
Pretty much. It looks really good. I've always wanted to love the XCOM games, but I fucking suck at them, like other RTSs and strategy games. So I'm hoping I can play this one and actually be good at it if I give it my time. They have confirmed there is permadeath, so you can lose squad members. They can die in this game and they're gone. It's pretty unclear what level of interaction or involvement Respawn and Lucasfilm's game have in this, because it is primarily being built by this team at Bit Reactor. So we don't really know where Respawn's hands or Lucasfilm games are coming in. But we do know
Lucasfilm Games is just pumping them with money.
That's kind of my thought. Like, that's my expectation, is they're just kind of funding it. They're the producers, if you'd like. Yeah. They do show the whole cast. You've got at least one clone, and it is theoretically, from the trailer that they released, theoretically taking place during the Clone Wars, because one of the first lines is when people talk about the Clone Wars. So it puts it in the present tense, which makes it sound like the events of this game are happening alongside of the Clone Wars. So
I mean, you could use that in past tense too.
You could. It's tricky, but there's also the clone. Let me double check before I go speaking out of turn here, because I am a fucking Star Wars nerd. Star Wars Zero. Let me confirm my hypothesis here. Yes. Okay. So you could say that, but the trooper that's in this, or at least the person wearing the clone trooper helmet, is wearing a Gen 1 helmet, which that was only produced at the beginning of the Clone Wars, and then they went to the Gen 2 helmet later on. So
okay.
Yeah, so it is an early gen helmet.
But who's also to say that he just didn't?
It's possible he just found it, right? Like, there's not even a lot that says that this is actually a clone trooper, right? Like, besides the fact that he's wearing clone armor, but it definitely doesn't look like standard issue clone armor. So it could be a guy who just is a commando and scavenged some clone gear, because
and I'm pretty sure the helmet even has like a gash in it, like it got shot or sliced or something.
Yeah, it has some kind of blast mark on it. that looks like it's been damaged, but like in a lore sense, the Gen 1 helmets were actually the better helmets that were made for the clones, which is why like in the Clone Wars TV show later on, you see Rex's helmet actually has he actually like cut the faceplate of the Gen 1 helmet and meshed it to his Gen 2 helmet, which is why he has all those like burn mark scars on his. Because he actually combined like the better face protection of the Gen 1 helmets with the better like air conditioning and heads-up display and shit like that came with the Gen 2 helmets. So
interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of Star Wars lore that's just stupid like that, but it's you've got what looks like a clone trooper of some sort. You've got a Jedi, like flat out this is a Jedi that looks like a synth, which is really weird. Like it looks like a synthetic humanoid.
Yeah, it was kind of weird
because droids can't use the Force. It flows through living things. So I don't know if this is just like some kind of suit this guy's wearing, or if he's some species. I don't know.
Did it show anything of him using the Force?
Yeah, one of the screenshots is him literally doing a Force push. So he's definitely using. Yeah, I mean, that was my thought too, is maybe he's just a guy with a lightsaber, because those can be different things. But he does use Force powers in the trailer, if not briefly. And you've got a Mandalorian that looks like it might be a member of the Death Watch, which is, again, also very interesting, because the Death Watch at this time were directly opposed to the Republic. Like, they were not allies. So the fact that a Death Watch Mandalorian and a Jedi are on a team together is very interesting. So it makes me wonder if he's like a Jedi outcast, or like what this Jedi story is, what this Mandalorian story is. It could be really cool. There could be a lot of really interesting stuff to learn in this game. So unfortunately, beyond that, we don't know a whole lot. It's all just theorizing. I'm going to be watching this one pretty closely. It is set to launch in 2026. So unfortunately, we have at least a year to wait. Well, I guess at least 8 months to wait.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But they don't really, the trailer doesn't really give you anything. It gives you a little bit of gameplay at the very, very end, where you can see how like you get your radio menu for your attacks and things like that. Gives you a view of the cover system and stuff of that nature. But it's seemingly, I mean, you said it feels really dark. You said, why does this feel like The Division, right? Like it feels like a really cinematic, dark setting.
Yeah.
So, but
also just the music they used felt very not like glitchy, but it had that like Division-esque synth to it. Synth sound, which kind of drew me in. But I don't really have a lot to add to this one, because I don't really do RTSs.
Yeah,
like I haven't played a legit RTS since like I think I might have been 9, and I had like an E-machine that was just given to me by my parents, and I played Risk. I think it was like literally Risk 2.
Nice.
That was the last RTS that I played, and I've never really been interested in them since.
I don't know if this technically qualifies as an RTS. There was this like break, right? Like it's real-time strategy, but it like when I hear real-time strategy, I think StarCraft or like Warcraft or I guess Civilization. I guess would kind of fall in there. But like RTS to me always felt like you were commanding an entire army. Well, Warhammer, I guess. Total War is another great example. Like that's what I think when I think RTS. This to me just feels like a strategy game, which arguably is still an RTS because it's real-time strategy. But yeah, I don't know. I'm usually not into RTSs or strategy games either because, like I said, I suck at them. But I like Star Wars, so I'll probably play this.
Yeah, and it's super unfortunate that I'm not really into RTSs or turn-based games like that, because like I'm really good at them.
Brag some more, dude. Jesus.
Because like when I played Risk 2 actually had like online play. Yeah. And I never found out who this person was, but I remember playing with them for like months at a time, and they kept forfeiting because I would back them into a corner where like basically the only choice they had was nuclear war, and I knew they didn't want to do nuclear war. Like they were trying to conquer, not destroy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was like back to back every single time that we tried to play, or I tried to beat him, he would just like forfeit. It's just one of those things where like it's funny because we were talking about like how I'm not super analytical, but when it comes to games like that, I can get very analytical.
Sure.
And yeah. It's sorry, I'm digressing a bit, but
no, you're good.
I might try it just because like every now and again I'll get like a weird like tinge of like, what if I played it and what if I enjoyed it? But it's also kind of like my OCD kicks in. It's like the camera is the wrong angle.
Yeah, you don't like that isometric camera. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I don't know. My thing has always been, for me to enjoy an RTS, I really have to understand the rules. And the reason I love Baldur's Gate 3 so much is because it is a strategy game. It's a strategy RPG. I already know the rules to D&D really fucking well. So, like, I know what I'm getting into with that game. I don't have to learn a new system. I don't have to learn dice rolling. Like, one of the biggest hurdles I have to playing Disco Elysium, which I've tried to play like 3 or 4 times now, is I don't understand their dice system. I don't understand their buffs, their debuffs, their stats. Like, I don't understand it. And it makes it really hard to want to play that game because, like, if you don't understand it, it feels like it's cheating and like just loaded against you, right? And so it's the same thing with me in strategy games. Well, this troop beats that troop, but this troop can do this if it's that one, if it's that, but if you do this, like, it's so much that for me it's hard to keep straight in my head, and it just feels like I am never working as optimally as I should be in those games. So
I mean, have you tried reading the help tips that it gives you?
Didn't I just say last episode I'm fucking illiterate? Thanks for calling me out, asshole.
You're welcome. I'm kind of digressing. That reminds me of this clip I was watching where the guy was like, he was pretending to be going door to door, trying to get awareness for illiteracy.
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Why? What brought you here today? What are you doing here? Do you need something?
Well, what does it say on my name tag?
I don't know, sir. I'm illiterate.
Okay, well, I'll read it out for you. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, it says, is that an F or a Q?
Sir, I don't
can't
know.
read
I
your
just
own
told
name
you I'm
tag?
illiterate. Are you illiterate too, sir?
Yeah. Speaking of
this is
illiterate,
awkward.
I'm here to spread awareness for illiterate people.
I would love to hear about that.
Absolutely. It says
Just please don't
right
hand me
here on
papers.
this pamphlet. It says.
That's a
He
good
was like,
bit.
"Here, let me try reading it. I'm illiterate too, but let me try reading it." He's like, "Yeah, no, I can't read this at all."
That's a good bit. I like that. That's a real good bit. But yeah, Zero Company's coming soon. Hopefully, well, not soon, but soon relative, right? Like last year, we were talking about how far away Monster Hunter Wilds is, and it just
suddenly appeared.
yeah. So a year doesn't feel that far out anymore. So,
I remember last year we were talking about how great Dune Awakening is gonna be to play, and it's literally due like 3 weeks from now.
well, speaking about that, let's go ahead and jump into our quickfire news since you started it off. Some bad news about Dune Awakening. It has been.
I'll see you guys later.
Yeah. All right. Bye, Mike. Still has his headphones in, so he's going to have to listen. It has been delayed. Yeah, unfortunately, following
God damn it.
player feedback after their beta, Funcom has elected to delay Dune Awakening, which we've said this multiple times on the podcast. Tim said it a ton. Delays are only ever good for games. Now, whether or not the game ends up being good is another fact, or is another matter completely, but like delays are only ever good. It just sucks as the players who really fucking want the goddamn game. So, especially since it was supposed to come out next month. So, hopefully,
Did they
whatever
say when the delay is till?
I did not see that information. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Dune Awakening.
In before indefinitely.
No. Definitely not. Developer said the delay is in order to incorporate the feedback from the persistent closed beta. Did they give now launch June 10th? So they pushed it back a little over a month, or a little under. I'm not sure exactly what date in May it was initially scheduled to launch, but Dune Awakening will now be moved to June 10th. With a head start launch if you buy in for that for whatever reason 5 days earlier on June 5th. So
Okay.
so it's only a month delay, but they're going to incorporate some of the feedback they got. So that's a good thing, right? That means they're listening to the fans. They got some good feedback that they felt like was worth listening to. It was in the best interest of the game, the best interest of the players. That's honestly the best case scenario. Like that's what you want to have happen from a beta. Right, like that's the point, is to put it in the hands of the people who are going to buy your product and listen to their feedback, whether it's hopefully it's constructive, and then determine whether or not it's worth implementing. Right.
Yeah.
So
they gotta. I say they, but not even just them. Like a lot of developers have to be careful right now because I know it's supposed to be quick fire, but it's gonna kind of tangent a little bit. Kind of harkening back to when Cyberpunk 2077 was releasing, it was expected to be. I mean, it was a big fucking deal, and so everybody that was releasing within that same window ended up announcing that they were delaying their release,
right?
Because they didn't want to compete. So a lot of developers have to be careful right now because as we get closer to autumn, also going off the fact that Take-Two's CEO or whatever has straight up confirmed on an investor call that autumn is the expected release window for GTA 6. We haven't expected like an exact date yet, but like autumn is like
it's going to be Q3. Yeah.
Yeah. So if they delay again, and if they go out longer than a month, they are probably going to delay to like almost fucking Halloween.
Yeah,
unless fucking Rockstar comes out like next fucking month and says, yeah, GTA 6 is releasing August 24th.
Yeah. I don't understand the fear of launching, and it's probably because I'm not in business, right? But like GTA has its following. It has a massive following.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's big enough to literally be worth pushing your game away from it. I really don't. Personally,
I would like to highlight the point that GTA 5 alone has made
at this point
now over $10 billion in revenue, which is more than like music and movies all of Hollywood combined.
Yeah, it's the highest thing ever. Yeah, I got it, but that's now, right? Like that wasn't release. Its release was garbage. It struggled for the first 3 years, dude. That's why I won't touch the game. For 3 years they said heists are coming, and then they finally came, and like it's an entirely better product now. Not even identifiable to what it was at launch, but like I don't expect GTA 6 to launch in GTA 5 level condition, right? That's insane.
No, it won't, but that's the thing now. Everybody has the expectation because the leaks that came out showed an actual like worthwhile single player campaign with all these little role play quote unquote things that you can do that people are looking for. Like
I don't know.
They've also it's just all the reworking that they've done, and then they've also announced, or I think it was the 5M devs themselves announced that they were hired by Rockstar to help them work on the actual like role play side of things.
Sure.
And the mechanics that go into it. So like there's a lot of high expectation for Grand Theft Auto 6, which is why a developer would look at that and be like, okay, we need to move it out, because even if we don't get buried underneath of that launch, the expectation for that launch is so high that no one's going to be looking at us during that time.
Yeah.
Between now and we've announced our game and the day that GTA 6 releases, in that little window, whenever someone announces something in there, they're not going to get a lot of traction.
I mean, here's the thing, right? People did that 2 weeks ago for the Nintendo Switch, right? People held their news. They just didn't announce anything because Switch 2 was coming. And it was a fucking flop of a show. People were pissed. It was just an absolute garbage showing. And like, it's one of those things, it's like, we probably shouldn't have held back. Like, I feel like these calls are being made by investors, not by the teams, right? Like at that point, like, it's being the investors who are like, no, we don't want to go up against Take-Two. Fuck that. Put your shit out there. Let your fans see it. Like, I don't know.
But in that case, I also feel like it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because like if it flops and then you announce your thing, you get more attention now because the other thing sucked. Yes. Yours doesn't.
Exactly. Exactly. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't care how good GTA 6 is. It will not be as good as the difference between GTA 4 and GTA 5. It is impossible to be as good as the gap between 4 and 5, because the technological leap, the capabilities we had between 4 and 5 was so fucking huge that they just, we haven't gotten further to a point to make that same level of leap. Like graphically, sure, quality, sure, but like consider how
body
empty
physics apparently are supposed to be revamping.
But like consider how empty GTA 4 was and how drab graphically and how like it was a great game at the time, but compare that to GTA 5. Like the world felt alive in GTA 5. It's so much so that a game that came out later, Infamous Second Son, felt fucking empty by comparison. Yeah. So I think we'll see more detail out of 6, but overall it's not going to be the same level of like, holy shit, this is a living world, because we're already used to that at this point. Shit, a fucking indie developer made Enzoy and we've got that. Granted, you can hit kids and bounce them off of telephone poles like ping pong balls, but that's besides the point. But I don't know. All this is to say, like, delays for polish, delays for fixing things like that, I'm for. Delays because you're afraid of competition is stupid, in my opinion. It just is. Like the people, not a little bit, but like the cross look. If you're looking at a cross-sectional map of people who are looking forward to Dune and people who are looking forward to GTA 6, there's probably not a ton of overlap there. There's a little bit, like sure, but like survival MMORPGs and simulation crime game MMO don't see each other the same way, right? So like. That's just my take, and I could be completely off base, right? Like, I'm not a business person. I have no experience in that field. It might be better to just play it safe, but I'm a fucking risk taker. I'm a shot maker, shot caller.
All right, bro.
Not really. But you know, sometimes those risks pay off, right? Because like, had somebody put out something along the Switch Direct and be like, hey, check this shit out, probably would have got a ton of fucking attention. Yeah. So, I don't know. That's the Dune delay. Now that quick fire segment's, you know, drug out as slow as possible.
Yep. Quote unquote.
A new Lovecraftian FPS survival horror game has been announced called Beneath. This was shadow announced, I guess, a little while ago. It is not available yet. It is pre-orderable on Steam. I don't know what other consoles it's coming to. Beneath. Let's see.
I didn't actually look at this one yet, so I guess I'll look at that.
It's
live.
It doesn't have a release date. It's got a frame of sometime later this year, and it's Lovecraftian horror FPS. What else do you need to know? I believe it's built on the UE5 engine, so hopefully we get some fun VR mods, things of that nature. Tactical combat, resource management, crazy monsters from the Elder Gods. Yeah, all kinds of good stuff. Dynamic.
So like Resident Evil, but Lovecraft.
Yeah, kind of? That's kind of the vibe I get, especially since like the Resident Evil games have gone first person. So yeah, I would definitely put those in the same boat. And literally, you're on a boat for most of it, and then you're underwater for the other parts of it because it's Lovecraft, and everything horrible comes from the sea in Lovecraft. So, can you tell H.P. Lovecraft had a fear of the ocean?
Or did he have a kink for the ocean?
You know what?
Squids in particular.
He did mention a lot of tentacles. I think he was
He's watched enough Untied to know where this is going.
I think he started it, to be honest. I think all of that comes from H.P. Lovecraft. the Japanese got a hold of one of his books that crossed the ocean and was like, oh.
Listen, man, they say if you like spicy sauces, then you're into BDSM. If you like H.P. Lovecraft,
You're
boy,
into
have I got
tentacle
some news
porn.
for
You're
you.
into tentacle porn. So, guilty, I guess. I guess, you know.
You heard it here first, folks. Russ is into spicy sauce and tentacle porn.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Sometimes together at once.
What has happened? Oh,
This is a crazy fucking episode.
this is
let
a
me tell
pretty
you.
wild episode. Moving on. Don't let your kids listen to this one, folks. I think that's a little
Just
late now, but
fucking
it's a good thing I marked these as explicit now. It's definitely not for kids. RuneScape has surprise dropped early access for Dragon
Oh, yeah.
Wilds. So that's available now, just out in the public. And I want to play it, but I'm also.
It is.
Go ahead.
It is like OG early access. It's not like early access where like the game is like 80% done, and then they're just gonna take the next like 4 fucking years to finish it. Like there are things missing from the game that are intended to be added later. There is archery and melee in the game.
Mm-hmm.
There is no melee, or archery experience itself, but there will be at some point. There's a lot of other things missing from the game that they're supposed to be added. So like this is like OG early access as early access can be.
This is Minecraft version 0.02 is what we're getting.
Yeah,
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
But there's a lot of great foundation and blueprints from what I'm reading and watching other people play it.
Yeah.
But we also know that the RuneScape devs are like legitimately like good.
Yeah, they're good
development
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they are the longest running MMO with a large calling at this point, or a large following at this point. Like, I know people that still grind out RuneScape. Classic, old school RuneScape. It's wild. Fucking wild to me.
Looking for girlfriend, 100 gold.
Wow, dude, did you read my private messages from 1997? Did you break into my AIM account? What happened?
Your AOL got leaked out, don't you remember?
Jesus, fuck. Oh, man, that hit. Anyways, so that happened. Switch 2 has announced that it will remain its $450 price tag, which is about $100 too expensive in my opinion, despite the tariffs. But their accessories are going to get a price hike, basically. It's not their exact words, but yeah. So
it's more or less, yeah.
Your Joy-Con, which were probably going to be, how much were they for the Switch? Like $90?
Like if I remember, like, yeah.
They're probably going to be 120. And then that camera, that 480p camera that you want for your chat system is probably going to be way too much, unacceptably.
Camera.
Yeah, unacceptably too much.
To compare, the Logitech Brio 4K camera that I used to have, it's a webcam for like computers. It also worked on my PlayStation 4. I paid $200 for that brand new.
Yeah.
Watch this fucking 480p camera accessory for the Switch 2 cost like $180.
I'm gonna guess 140, and then if you want the Piranha Plant version, it's gonna be 180. That's my guess.
Yeah,
$179.99 for that sweet Piranha Plant with a fucking spy cam in it. Pre-orders do go live on the 24th of this month, so just in a couple of days. If anybody wants to pay for an underpowered, overpriced system that is guaranteedly going to be a worse place to play any game that will come to that system that isn't exclusive to that system over the Steam Deck that you can get for about the same price. Yeah, I think that's how I want to say that.
You can even get a refurbished OLED model Steam Deck for literally the same price.
Yes. Yeah, and
that's
not
an arguably
pay,
better experience over the majority of the market of handhelds right now.
and not have to pay $90 per game. I genuinely, dude, I can't. I'm actually really excited for the pre-orders because I am excited to find out numbers. I'm excited to find out how many people out there are actually willing to shell out this much money, premium console prices for a not, admittedly from Nintendo, a not premium console. Wild choices. So
Imagine paying $90 for a game when the PS4 was a thing, because like the Switch 2 is supposed to be a PS4 comparable console, supposedly.
yeah. So there's still a generation behind. That's the wild thing. It's like, okay, the Steam Deck is a PS4 comparable console. Like, I don't know. But that's where we're at for the night. Mike, any final thoughts on tonight's topics?
I mean, still kind of going on the portable handheld thing. That PS5 handheld, not the PS5 handheld. That rumor of an actual like legitimate new PSP.
Sure.
Yeah, that thing is probably going to demolish the Switch too. 100%.
I don't think they're making one. I honestly don't. Like it. Maybe they are, right? So like development time into the Portal and money invested into the Portal was probably a test bed, right? Like we can safely assume that was a test to see if people want a handheld. And it seems like it was successful. So maybe they are, but it also like Sony has failed every time they've made a handheld. The PlayStation Portal is the first time they've been successful. And the reason it was is because you could play your existing library on it. The PS Vita and the PSP did not have great games on it. It just didn't.
PSP had Midnight Club Double Edition on it.
It had some good games, but it just didn't have a large catalog. You had that, and you had Crisis Core, and that was really about it.
The Vita would have done better if they had just marketed it correctly. Because that's the thing. The whole thing about it is it was a successful console on paper in terms, like even today, people buy Vitas still to like fucking today.
Yeah, but they buy them to jailbreak them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But the fact that the desire for a PlayStation Portable console, and like people are comparing them to the Vita, even the PS Portal. When people were talking about the PS Portal, the first fucking comparison they made was my Vita, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that sense, I think the Vita was a successful console. In the fact that that's what everybody calls back to when they talk about the PS Portal. So I don't know. I like the idea of them actually making a PSP 2 or a PS Vita 2 or whatever the next one's going to be called. Especially because like when the rumor mill was really kicking up on it, they were talking about it being like the PS5 Slim downclocked into whatever the thing would have been called.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Aside from that, tell your mom I said hi.
And we will see you next time. Patrons, we'll be right back.